Hello, Operator 70. I'm not sure how you can direct my call. I saw a release that said something in relation to the shooting incident in Ferguson and the federal investigation and whatnot. And it said if you have questions, please call the Office of Public Affairs. It did not give any directives on who could call or why we could call or so I don't. And would you be able to take, I guess, questions to some extent, or uh, I understand I normally don't talk to the general public, but we normally don't have civil war in the middle of the Midwest in the United States. And I am, well, that's fine. If you could transfer me, I'll work the rest out. I'd greatly appreciate it. Sugar Chris? Stay there, don't leave. Good morning, how are you? I'm glad to hear that. I'm calling in relation to the shooting incident in Ferguson, Missouri. I'm not calling from the press, but as I stated, there was a release put out, and there's no directive that states that anyone who could call. It says if you have questions, please call the Office of Public Affairs. So is this an erroneous document? Civil Rights Division told me to come back to you. They told me that the point is, I understand that there's a normal standard operating procedure, but we don't standardly have civil war in the Midwest in the United States. It's kind of a different kind of thing. And I'm living in D.C. now, but I am actually, my hometown is Ferguson, Missouri. And as I receive phone calls from home from my friends and family who are extremely scared due to the current police state, I feel as though I need to exhaust all of my options in making sure that it is known that they are completely being treated in an unconstitutional manner. People cannot rest. There are children who are not able to sleep because of what's going on. And it definitely needs to be addressed in a much larger fashion. Civil Rights Division won't talk to me either. I, yes, I mean, in either, like, yes, yes, but the point is, don't leave me. Yes, ma'am. Okay, thank you. Operator 7, I was just speaking with who you told me to speak with, and they told me that I need to speak with you. So all I'm, I am experiencing an extreme sense of frustration right now. We have a situation going on that is only getting worse, And the current powers that be are not following standard operating procedure. Yet we're going to block the gates and we're not going to allow access for something that is critical and relevant to all persons across the board in that capacity. I understand that you're a gatekeeper. What I'm asking you now is to really factor in what we're up against and ask yourself if you really want to block the person who's willing to speak with whomever is necessary from that opportunity. So what I asked them, the purpose of this is there was a document put out that says, if you are you familiar with the document? Oh, okay. Well, let me go over the document with you, and this is directly from Attorney Eric Holder. So it says statement. Okay, then please do. Okay, so then answer me, who is 202-514-2007? That's the Office of Public Affairs. That's the general line, correct? Okay, and I'm going to gather, I'm just getting my back information straight because I just want to make sure that I'm talking correctly despite my current state. So that document states to call that office. So if you won't talk to me and nobody in the office will speak to me, it would make it seem as though that was an erroneous or a smoke screen or a red herring, if you would, to see if anybody would call. Well, I am her who will call. And so you're saying that this document, or it should have had his office number on it because you can't speak with the general public in any case. Is that correct? Okay, and you were operator 70, is that correct? Okay. And now if you will please direct me to the Attorney General's office. I would. Thank you. You as well. Lump. Hello. Hi, how are you? Yeah, I got you. I've been better. My name is Maka Taylor. I am a current resident of Washington, D.C. I, however, was born and raised in Washington, in Ferguson, Missouri. So the civil unrest that I'm watching right now and that I'm receiving from my family and friends is extremely overwhelming, to say the least. There was a document put out on August 12th by Attorney General Holder, and it stated that if we have questions, please call the Office of Public Affairs. I just want to duly note it that I did call the Office of Public Affairs, and they will not speak with anyone who is not in the press, and that is not what the document says, just as an FYI. I'm calling because the word that I'm receiving and the activity that I'm watching, they arrested an alderman last night. They're now arresting journalists. They are also, the police force, the task force that they have conglomerated to come against peaceful protesters. They keep alluding to looting, but there is actually no looting on the ground currently. They are actually shooting the pellets or the rubber bullets and smoke, what do you call them? I can't even get the tear gas, thank you. Smoke bombs and tear gas behind private fence lines. So at the point that we have peaceful demonstrations and people are simply upset because there's nowhere else that you can have a murder suspect, despite whatever else is going on, the policeman and the officer in question is a murder suspect, or at least he's implicated in a murder suspect. He's yet to be picked up. They're yet to release any information, although they released information on looters. We also have video footage of policemen actually arresting innocent bystanders who were peacefully protesting, stealing their money, locking them up just to take them and not book them and release them. There are so many unconstitutional things happening, and I don't know exactly how it's being covered in the national press. I don't keep standard television in my home. What I'm doing is Skyping into St. Louis and getting the actual reports from on ground, but from what I understand, they do not match exactly some national news where they're making the focus about other things other than the fact that the community is outraged because the officer is yet to be brought to charges. Even though there's all type of corroborating witnesses, corroborating evidence, the police came in after the incident. They took video cameras, video phones from civilians. They took video from the actual Canfield Green apartment site. This is a blatant disregard for a particular people, and because that is my hometown and I have family and friends there, I may be a little bit more biased. But what I am saying is, how can we just continue to allow this civil unrest, this civil war to happen against peaceful protesters for something that should have never happened again? And I know the family personally. I do not understand how we are just standing by and allowing this to happen. This is not a third world country. This is the Midwest.
Of retaliation that's occurring. I don't handle the specific case, but I do know the Department of Justice is looking into it, and Eric Holder, the Attorney General, just made comments that they were going to be an investigation. So our office is aware of what's going on and trying to find out exactly what happened in those moments.
But I'm saying, if this were anybody else, and I understand if there's anybody else, because I'm not well with this situation right now, and I thank you first and foremost for being or sounding, in the very least, empathetic to what I'm expressing. However, just for right now, I have to state that's not good enough, because somebody died like that. I know that boy personally, and he died for no reason. If this was a minority suspect, there would be satellite footage pulled. There would be all types of other interests in making sure that this criminal was brought to justice. And the fact that all we're hearing is we're looking into it. I have personally called the FBI. I have personally called Ferguson Police Department. I have personally called St. Louis County. There is no reason that nobody's giving a reason. They're talking around. Why is a individual who's been implicated in a murder not been indicted or in the very least brought in? Why have the eyewitnesses not been questioned? Why was it never called in by a police officer? The dispatch tapes were released. Dispatch never received a phone call from the police. What they did do was heard over a news feed that there was an officer involved shooting, and that is where they received the information. That in and of itself sounds like it could have some type of biased bearing on an actual investigation being conducted through those faculties, through those entities of Ferguson Police Department and St. Louis County Police Department. I also, when I called the FBI, they confirmed, neither denied being a part of the investigation, but even with their interest, they're only looking into a civil case. We have a young man who has been shot down in cold blood. From what I understand on my ground reports from home, he was actually shot 14 times. Now, how do you justify, even in your personhood, and I'm not questioning you personally, I'm just saying, since we're on the phone, in your personhood, how can this not, this is everybody's son. This is anybody's son. At the point I have to have the conversation with my 12-year-old son that if the police walk up on you in an aggressive manner, all you do is raise your hand, son, and ask him not to shoot. Do you know how demoralizing and degenerating that is to the character of a people? And all we can hear is, we're looking into it. That is not good enough. My nieces and nephews cannot go to school because the community that they knew, the community that they've grown up in, now looks like a third world country. And all we're hearing back is, we're looking into it. If this were your son, if this were Attorney Holder's son, would we're looking into it suffice?
Ma'am, I can't even begin to understand all your, I do, but I don't want to presume to, I don't have family in Missouri, so I don't want to presume to know exactly how you're feeling, because I know that, that what you just described to your son, I don't have children, so, I haven't had that conversation, and I can't imagine how hard and heartbreaking it would be as a mother to have that conversation, and, your anger and concern what's happening in our country is totally understandable and warranted. But again, all I can say at this time, even though it's not helpful, is that there is an investigation going on about whether Missouri police violated any federal civil rights laws.
Really, this is what I'm saying. Is there any way that...
That's all we can say at this moment while there's an open investigation.
Is there any way... Listen, I know it's off the cuff, but again, we are not in standard times, ma'am. I would love to speak with Attorney General Holder. That is the only... Like, this situation, dude, it's only going... They are going from bad to worse. It's not going to get any better. And Steady just saying we're looking into it. So again, I'm appealing to your humanity now. I'm appealing to your humanity to utilize your switchboard, to transfer the call to whomever I can speak with, to utilize this voice that I have been given, this tempered rage that I am working to utilize, to work to turn this around. Our people have no faith in this government as it stands. Our people have no faith in our elected officials. Our people have no faith in the administration of our elected officials. We as individuals feel like nothing more than coins. And until I need to speak with somebody that can tell me something more than we're looking into it. I am appealing to you to please direct me to somebody. Please just use your fingers and put me on the phone with somebody that can either tell me, ma'am, you all are niggers and worthless in this country and you need to accept that, or they're going to tell me that, ma'am, we are on our feet now working to rectify this situation.
Like to issue a complaint, you're more than welcome to. We accept them by fax and by letter, but at this time, this is all we can do right now.
So there's no way that you could, wherever Attorney General Eric Holder's office is, you can't patch me through to him. You can't just put me through to the phone to him.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm unable to do that.
So can I ask why he's an elected public official? He's elected, or he's not elected. He's appointed. But in any case, he's appointed by the elected. And even though he holds a public office, I am unable to request access to be transferred to his line.
You're more than welcome to leave a comment on his line. You're more than welcome to write.
No, I'm saying I'm unable. Yeah, so I'm saying though, so no, I'm asking as a citizen. You're saying that I don't have a right to actually be put through to the direct line of the Attorney General, Eric Holder.
We can try that, but it will go for you to leave a comment.
No, I'm saying I'm not asking for his comment line. He's in an office. He has an office building with a phone on his desk that he speaks on, I'm sure, whenever he's in there or has the need. That is the phone that I would like to be put through to. And I'm asking that I, as a citizen of the United States, do I have the right to request and the presumed assumption to believe that I can actually be put into the actual office by a phone of the Attorney General, Eric Holder?
Ma'am, I'm unable to connect you to the Attorney General's line, but I've definitely made a note of all of these concerns and frustrations about the inaction that's going on, and I will be sure to pass along the message. But at this time, this is all that I'm able to do.
So can you tell me where it is that, like what is the bylaw that says I can't be put through to his phone line? Like, what's the bylaw on that?
Ma'am, I'm unable to do that.
I'm asking though. I hear you saying that you're unable to. I got that, but I'm asking, like, is that in your job description? Is it on the books? Is it an actual law? Like, I hear you saying that you can't, but now I need to know. I am required to know why you can't.
Those are the standard rules and procedures here. Again, I'd be happy to I'm taking down this message and passing on. We're hearing very similar concerns and anger about what's going on in Ferguson and the need for action. So we're getting the message loud and clear here in PC, and we're watch on what's happening, and an investigation is currently underway.
But that's a lie. How is an investigation underway when he hasn't even been brought in? This is what I want you to make clear to me. Now, I'm not a legalese individual, but I would love for you to explain to me. I would love for you to explain to me. And I would love for you to explain to me how an investigation is being conducted when the suspect is not even being brought in. Eyewitnesses are not being interviewed. Eyewitness testimony is not being documented. Incident reports are not being released. Where is the investigation then?
Ma'am, I'm able to give details of the investigation, but we have...
No. I'm sure you're a lawyer, correct?
I'm not an attorney.
You're not an attorney, but you do work with them, so you understand just the same way you understand standard operating procedures. You understand, I'm sure, I would like to gather at least, that you understand from beginning to end on the initiation of a crime, working through towards arrest, moving through towards indictment, moving through towards trial period and whatnot. So I'm saying, if none of this is taking place, I would love, well then may I speak with a lawyer who could explain to me how there is an investigation taking place when this call is being recorded as well, I apologize, how they are conducting an investigation, yet none of the aspects of investigation are taking place. Where is the investigation?
Now, again, I'm unable to give the details of what is going on, but we have made a statement that there is an investigation going on. But at this time, I think I've answered all your questions, and I'm unable to provide any more details.
You haven't answered anything. You haven't answered anything. There's nothing that you answered. Nothing. You answered nothing. You answered nothing. Nothing. And I'm not, this is not, it's not good enough. They put this erroneous document out to make it seem as though you can call somewhere and you can get some good feedback, or at least get some good information. None of that is happening. And they're completely, either they're oblivious, and like I said, they either need to make a statement saying y'all niggas are on y'all own, or they need to say, we're going to indict this man, we're going to go ahead and work towards a prosecution. And you haven't answered anything, so at the very least, is there any way that I could speak with a lawyer who may be able to explain to me how an investigation, lack of an investigation, is occurring?
You can try to let me connect you to the Civil Rights Division.
I've already spoken with the Civil Rights Division.
Well, those would be the attorneys, if you'd like to talk with them. Otherwise, again, at this time, there's nothing more I can do at this moment. And I'm sorry for everything that's going on, and we have taken down your comments, and we have heard from you, and so we'll be sure to pass them along to the appropriate source.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hello.